What is up? What is up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Nothing at all. So yeah, it's a little bit light in the show for now. James said he may or may not be here, but James is also, doing POTA things, so can't
What
really blame
POTA
him.
things? Doing
Yeah,
POTA things.
can't really blame him for not being here, but yeah. So what's going on with you, Mike?
Uh, just trying to do some QSOs.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure if I got Guinea right now. 3 X-ray 1 alpha. He didn't RR 73 or 73 to me, but hey, I put him in the log because apparently it is what it is. Got my
Yeah.
DX10. It's already
Yep.
plugged in and working. That's what I'm using right now. And life is good. I mean, can't complain.
Hmm. That's good. I did an activation today.
I did one yesterday, a twofer.
Um, and I didn't do many contacts, but we'll
I
talk
did
about that in a little bit. But
I did 13, so not the
yeah, I did.
bare minimum, but I was FT8.
Yeah.
I was FT8 QRP with my little friend right here, and I had some power issues because in the typical hotel Yankee fashion, I forgot to charge the batteries. Good thing I had a power bank with me, and I brought in. I had ordered USB to 9 volts for the QDX, and that worked like a treat.
Yeah, I uh I did like 12 contacts, but
Oh, so I
earlier
beat you
this
by one. Okay.
yeah, there you go. Well, I did 10, and then I hunted a park, and it just happened to be two ops there. So
Oh.
I would have only had 11 if there was. Yeah, I did the bare minimum as well. But this week I actually found another fifer near me
Ooh,
by accident because I was just
by
looking at.
accident.
Well, yeah. So I went there and I activated the other day because I was doing a rove according to the new rules, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I found out that where I activated, there's three trails that meet each other, and then the park counts as two parks. So there you go. It's a five for. So that was interesting, but yeah, something we do need to talk about is the new rules changes in POTA because for those who may not be aware, there was two recent rule changes.
Like an hour ago. An hour ago came the new rules.
Well, one of them. So the first one that came out earlier this week was a rover.
Yeah.
And what changed is that radar changed to rover. You can still get the radar award, I guess, through the guy who runs the radar program. Although, like, I've been to that website and it looks like it hasn't been updated in 2 years. So take that with the biggest grain of salt you can find. Um, yeah. So they changed it instead of distance. Now it's by unique entities. And I know a lot of people are kind of upset about that.
I am a
You were
little.
one of them. Yeah.
Well, I don't have 30 parks on my island, so when it was distance, I could, do multiple. Now that it's 30 unique and I don't have 30 unique on my island, I think, I'm sure, or at least I have 30, but some of them are unobtainium because they're like, in the ocean.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know on a boat. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not Hayden. Uh, so, so how am I going to do that? I'm not.
Yeah.
So, but it's not, it's to get the 30, the lion one. So, I mean, I could go for a smaller radar.
Yeah. I mean, the people that really disadvantages and the one like, and I understand their logic behind it. Their logic behind it was like only a couple percent or whatever of people have actually put in for them. Which okay, I get that. But, also not
So,
everybody's
so now they're
feeling.
automatic.
They're automatic now.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they come in once a week. But it really puts a disadvantage of people with like handicaps and disabilities and stuff because the last one,
Yes, that's
if
right.
I
You're absolutely
remember
right.
correctly, was like only a kilometer or something for
If
people
you
in
had a
wheelchairs.
disability, yeah,
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 like if
or
you had a
even less than
physical
that.
disability. Now, like you're telling people with like these disabilities, like,
Okay,
hey, your chance of getting radar is
okay, but riddle me this. Riddle me this. Uh, you found a fiver, right?
five room.
Okay, so if supposedly that's a rover.
Yes, that if I activated that one park, that would be a warthog that day.
There you go. So I did a twofer yesterday. That's that's like a mini twofer rover, a mini two rover. I
Yeah.
don't even know if they do awards for two, but so pretty much anybody who does a 4 or a 5 or whatever, that's a rover. And there you go. So you need to find 5 parks with fivers, and you do
Well,
5 activations, and you get your 30.
that wouldn't work here because the
I know what you
fivers
mean.
share the same trails.
Okay, okay, okay.
So it would only be it'd be a fiver and then a twofer, according to the way the rules work now. But that's because another important bit is that, and I asked James Linden this, trails do not count across state borders.
Okay,
So
okay.
if you work
So it
the
wouldn't be a unique.
Appalachian Trail
It
in
needs to be
West
a
Virginia,
unique number.
yep, it needs to be a unique park number. So if you went to Appalachian Trail in West Virginia and then you walked your happy butt over to Maryland and you activated
It's
there,
same park number, so it's not
same
another
park.
unique.
Yep, and it wouldn't
It
count.
it's not state
Which
centric, or it's not. You know.
which personally I disagree with, and I think a lot of other people kind of disagree with that because at
Well,
that
I
point
mean,
it should count as a new park when you have to go. You have to actually travel.
I'm sure they don't count it because logistically, or for them to be able to automate the system, it probably doesn't have a different like
Well, it should
it
be able
won't
to
check
filter
for your
state,
state.
but it
Well,
should
it's
be
another.
because.
It's
But the
it's
thing
easier
is,
just to
like,
check for a different number than it
well,
is for a number and a state.
the thing
Because
is though, because like when I did for like support your parks weekend, for instance, right? If I activate the trail in one state and I activate it in another state, all of those contacts count as two separate parks.
I see,
So
I see.
it should like since it's the same with contacts, it should be the same with awards, right? Like
Yeah, but you
that
got to
should be
you think about it. States is America only kind of situation. Uh, although
uh
we although we have here a
yeah.
park can reach 2 different provinces in a way, provinces. And
Hmm.
Canada, I'm sure they have the same thing.
Yeah.
But you're like, if you're doing it for states, you're like benefiting or increasing the chances of Americans getting the rover, as you know, uh, more so than the rest of the world.
Well,
Because
I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure with trails, there's a drop down menu and you select where you activated the trail. And I think in places like Canada, you can select the province.
so what you're saying is Canada and the states would be granted this amenity, or whatever you want to call it, this aid, while the rest of the world, DX, wouldn't get it.
I don't know. I'd have to find out how trails work in other countries.
I'm telling you, in Portugal, some parks, and well, I haven't added trails to the POTA listing, but I know parks in Portugal can be in 2 different provinces.
And can you
So
select what province you activate
I've never done it because not where I'm at. The parks I've activated here don't have different provinces.
I
They're
mean, you could
either
do like a test log, just writing a bunch of
I
and
could, I
see if it
could.
works.
You're right. I could do that. Yeah,
Because
it's something.
on the spotting page, it even has like a region indicator for like the parks. It'll say like something like I know like Dominican Republic. It'll say DO TAC, and then it'll be like different. provinces, states, whatever they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to imagine that's already implemented.
Huh, let me check. Let me try. I added a new park the other day. Park reference. So that would be CT0036. Is it 3535? Okay, 34. Nope, no drop down list for provinces for me.
Wow. Even though it's in two different provinces.
Oh, wait. 334. Let me check 335. Nope. 336. Nope.
And those are in different provinces or whatever.
And I add them to different provinces, like Lidi and Stubble, which are different
And
like
they're not
parks.
different park numbers, right?
No, same park, different locations. Well, they are. It covers two provinces, so
Okay. But you
so
can't select which one you do
nope,
it from.
no.
Hmm. So I guess that's something they need to work on implementing in other countries.
They might, yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
might not be implemented in Portugal per se. I did get, I did get an email from the upper echelon, the administrators, that I needed to change some parks because when I added them, the name of the park is Parque Natural Leiria. So it would be Parque Natural de Leiria Natural Park. So they wanted me to drop the Portuguese natural park and just be Lydian Nature or Natural Park. For instance, this is a example.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have Natural Park twice in like my language and their in English. So I can understand. I did the changes they wanted. That's fine. It makes sense. But when somebody goes in to look for it, they'll see like Oshkosh Nature Park. Well, Oshkosh is a big province. Where's the park? Well, they have to check the pin, and because the pin is informative only. The pin doesn't really mean where the park
Yeah.
where you have to activate. And I've had a lot of problem with the Portuguese community. Oh, the pin is in the wrong place where the park is. I'm like, but is it inside the park? Well, yeah, but it isn't at the campground or isn't at the rest area. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
informative only. It's your job to find the park boundaries. That's not my job. That's your job.
Yep.
So some people get confused about it, but
I
I
could
can
see that.
understand
Yeah. Because
because
like with soda, it's that way.
but soda is
Or
very specific. It's
yeah.
that's where you're supposed to, and then you can go below it a certain distance. I've
Yep.
never done soda, so but I can understand. But I think soda, they actually have KMZ lineouts of the summit and so forth.
Hmm.
That's what I heard, but I'm not sure
I haven't
because
seen that. That must be
yeah,
brand new if it's
I don't
true.
know. That's what I heard. I mean, don't hold
It's
me
supposed to
against it.
be like based on
Or is it flora fauna? I don't know,
contour
one of
line.
those. Although here, there was a shift. The guy that was the flora fauna manager for Portugal, he dropped out.
Hmm.
So they've changed. It's been some changes, but I don't. I no longer do flora fauna. So, oops,
Oops.
oops. I did have an
Um.
interesting. I did have an interesting. One of the guys that activates Portugal. That we have a group on Telegram. He posted on the POTA site that it was a POTA reference, and on the comments he put down the flora fauna reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got an email saying you do that again, you get banned.
That's dumb.
It's the rules. It's the rules, and I understand
There's
because you
nothing in
know
the
what?
rules that get said.
I think there is that it's you're supposed to. It's POTA only. Anything else isn't POTA doesn't belong there.
Because when I did my soda activation, I didn't put the number, but I said also soda.
You can't do that.
Well, that's dumb. I'm gonna do it.
You can't do that.
No. Okay. Sure. I
You
mean,
can't do that.
we can activate at McDonald's parking lots on APRS, and people can send in the hard physical evidence, even of them cheating on video. But you can't put you're also at a soda. I got it. Okay.
The thing is, he needs to cheat in Europe because apparently,
Yeah.
those count. The cheating in the states doesn't count. No, I'm just goofing ball on that. I don't want to get banned either. I mean, you know what? I don't partake in those meetings, so I trust that they're doing the right thing, and but it's I don't know. I don't know. It's above my pay
Listen,
grade.
that's why, this whole cheating scandal that's going on right now is kind of why I sat out of this Support Your Parks weekend.
But you
Like,
still activated, so
I
but you
acted,
didn't
I just
go.
wanted the award. I didn't want
Yeah,
to try to shoot for top activator because I don't want to
yeah.
compete against cheaters. Like, I don't want to. It's not a fair and level playing ground, and they know it, and they don't want to correct it. So, like, I don't want to help them put up bigger numbers for the Support Your Parks weekend.
It hurts
'Cause-
me knowing the ins and outs, or knowing some of the facts and knowing some of the what's behind it. Whenever I see the monthly POTA stats, I'm happy to say my call up there for the Bradley Sprocket or Bailey Sprocket award.
Yeah,
But
barely
then I
sprout.
see top activator, and you hear some names, and you're like, oh man, that's a bittersweet right there. But
Yeah, well, just,
you know,
and people say, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not it's not a big deal or whatever." I'm like, okay, but it's the same thing if like,
it is a big deal for those who are actually putting in the real work.
well, yeah, and not only that, it's like, okay, you say it's not a big deal and it's all for fun. It's like, well, I could be out golfing for fun, right, with some people, and if some dude is like throwing his ball across the green and keeps hitting it and getting like par every time suddenly, and writing on their card or whatever, and they get an amazing round. It's like, oh, I don't want to play with that person
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
if they're cheating at the sport, even if it's just for fun. I don't want to play with that. I don't want to compete with it.
Cheating is we have a saying in Portugal. Cheating, it doesn't matter even if it is for beans. I mean, and it does it's cheating even if it is just for beans. You know, uh, cheating is cheating. Period. I mean, but like it's hard. I'm not saying there isn't enough proof already. You know what I mean? But there,
They don't.
I'm sure there are a lot more people cheating. I'm sure there are
Oh yeah.
like hundreds of people cheating, but there's no actual way to catch them. If there's
Well,
been enough proof, then god dang it.
I'll just say I've caught someone on video twice. They've been caught on APRS at least twice, and they've been caught activating parks that are physically closed more than once. And
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and say APRS and is in his car and he could be in the park.
except that this last week, no joke, the same person was on APRS at a certain time. Like, I was on APRS 5 looking to see if my hotspot came up. I saw this person was also on, and at that specific time, they were activating a park that they were not in. Because on APRS, you could see exactly where they were
But his
traveling,
car could be there. He doesn't mean he's there because his
but
car
his
is putting
car is
out the
where he
APRS.
activates from. His car is where he activates
That
from.
day he could have taken the station out of his car. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Don't,
I know,
I'm not saying anything.
but
You
you
know,
can't, like, you're telling me you're transmitting FT8 and APRS at the same time. I'm just
I could have
saying.
left. I could have left my handy does APRS, right? I
Mhm.
could leave the handy at home and it's transmitting my location from home, and I could be at a park.
I'm just saying it would be really weird, man. Like, if all you activate from is your vehicle and your vehicle is not in the park and you can see that on APRS, I'm just saying, like, if it quacks like a duck, you know,
Well, you know how the court systems are in the states. It could quack like a duck and be a dog.
yeah,
I'm just saying. It is. You know, it's like I said, it's above my pay grade by a
yep,
lot, and I have no say whatsoever. I'm just admin for the country. It's nothing to do with me, and I understand the frustration of it. But I mean, keep complaining.
Yeah. Well, we need people to complain in mass. That's the big thing. We need,
yeah,
total
I won't
future.
either. I've stopped working them. I've stopped working both the they're innocent until proven guilty. I've stopped working them.
And
it
it's
is what it
funny.
is.
The
I've
bot is still going.
I have nothing against bots. Bots make your life easier if you're there. I don't use a bot to make cut QSOs, but
I
I
mean, the
the one I
problem is,
use, it does pounds. I love pounds feature, and I think it should be a part of the regular WSJTX because it's an amazing feature.
yeah. I mean, the problem is in the United States, at least. I don't know
Or
how it is in Portugal, but
or
the
when we say
station
Portugal,
operator
same thing
has
here. I think
has
it's
to
it's
be
it's
at
it's
the
it's everywhere in the world.
control.
You have to be at your station. You have to
Well,
be, in my opinion, you have to be in reach of the radio in case it goes haywire. You can turn it off. That's my perception of the thing.
yeah,
But then you have remote stations. I've operated remote FT8. I'm at work. My station is at home. I remote in. I work FT8 from a remote station.
yeah. But
It's
I
still
mean,
my radio. It's still
and that's
me
fine.
operating it.
Hey, I'm fine with that. But POTA rules say you have to be in the park.
I'm
I'm
not
just
saying
saying.
I'm doing a park.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
I'm being a hunter.
No, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that
Yeah.
because you are
Yeah.
within law,
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
regulation,
Yeah. You're right.
within
As a
rules.
hunter, I can do that. As an activator, I could never do
You
it.
cannot. Yep.
Yeah. Makes
Because if
absolute
you are
sense.
not in the technically the rule says you have to be in the park with your equipment. It doesn't say you have to be in front of your equipment, but you have to be in the
True.
park.
True. But you can't put it in war mode and walk away to have lunch.
Questionable.
But
I
then again,
mean,
it goes back to my question of my whole island is a park. If I park my car outside and it's the transmitters in the car and it's transmitting and I'm at work or at home, my car's outside, powered by its own stuff, radio, whatever. I'm just remoting into it. It's in the park.
I don't know at that point.
And
Yeah,
then technically I'm still inside the park because the whole island is a park. So yeah, it's complicated. It then it's a matter of ethics, I would
yeah.
say.
Well,
So
speaking of complicated, let's talk about the other award.
let's we're almost halfway. So let's talk about the other award that came in. This was announced about what, an hour ago? Let me check.
I guess so. Yeah,
Let me
maybe a
check.
couple hours now.
It was an hour ago, exactly an hour ago. So
So the new,
we have changes to one award and a new award
well, it's not
within the
really
same scope.
new.
Well, yeah, there was no early
Oh
shifts
yeah,
award.
that's right. Yeah, no, you're right.
So
Yeah,
there's changes to one and one added as part of the system. So we you want to go ahead?
yeah. So they changed the way the late shift works and how they added early shift as well. So there's two 6 hour segments. The wording on it currently is confusing as shit. Don't worry, everybody's confused about the wording. I even put on Facebook, like, this is confusing. And Jason Johnson replied to me. He said, all right, to boil it down to the simplest point, is that it's generally going to be 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. your time is going in your time zone is going to be the late shift, and 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. in your time zone will be the early shift.
Yeah.
So, an example, if I go out and I activate a park at 8 p.m. 2000, and you, let's just say we're in the central time zone, which is 1 hour behind, it'd be late shift for me, but not for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conversely, if you were an hour ahead in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, um, it would be late shift for you. And if you were 6 hours ahead, it would be early morning shift.
So it would be early shift for me, late shift hunter for you.
It would be late shift. If I was activating, it'd be late shift
Oh,
activator,
yeah, it
and it'd
would
be
be
early
early for
shift
me, late
hunter.
for you. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So it's based completely on your time zone now. The way the official wording is goes something like every 15 degrees is plus or minus 1 hour from 20 UTC. Yeah, just know that it's 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. on your time zone. I'm sure they're going to clarify the official rule because there are some places it's going to matter. Um, like for instance, I off the top of my head, I want to say Newfoundland's like a plus 30 on me. So, like for
yeah,
them, their late shift might actually begin um at like 9 or 8:30. Depending on where they are as far as like the official
yeah. And it's
wording
gonna
goes.
change. Apparently, it's gonna change if you do multiple parks as well. Um,
Well,
there's
it's not based on it's based off total contacts now too.
well, yeah, because it says for parks across multiple locations, the administrative reference unit, state, province, etc. PIN is used instead based on your activation location. This generally works out to approximately 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. local time, but observance of times and daylight savings will make the exact local time vary from location to location.
Yeah. Well, also like the way they changed it is it's no longer activations or parks hunted, it's total QSOs.
Yeah. Also, also because here's another one. Because the time window for these awards is variable, the UTC rollover could land anywhere in that window depending on your location. For this reason, the award will no longer be based on the number of activations occurring in the time window, but will instead be based on count of QSOs that
Hmm.
occur within the window. The initial certificate for both versions will be granted at 100 with updates every 100 QSOs thereafter.
So I guess it'll be really important to have your times correct in your logs now.
Yep.
And
Ay caramba is right, Terry. Ay caramba.
it kind of screws over the activators a little bit because there used to be
Yes.
a thing of going out at 2400 UTC and
Yes.
everybody wants to hunt you.
Yes.
Get that early shift in early and get out of there.
Yes.
Now it's going to be even harder because if I
Oh, it's
want
gonna.
people,
You're absolutely right. It's gonna screw me over for my Bailey Sprocket because usually at midnight for me is when everybody starts doing late shifts. So I've always had a bunch of people doing activation, so I could instantly in an hour already get my QSO of the day.
well, the good news is that the East Coast will be at 8 o'clock when midnight hits for you,
Yeah.
but the Midwest will be an hour later, so that'd be 1 a.m.
So yeah, it's gonna make my job a lot harder. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because usually I would be on that UTC rollover all the time, all the time.
yeah,
Well, that sucks.
yep. That kind of blows, but
Because a lot of people, but still, there still might be people doing it because UTC rollover still is important for those who want to get like two parks in like one day and then the next day they
oh,
could just wait
yeah,
a little bit. So still there still might be people there for not
yeah,
for the late shift but for the UTC rollover. But it won't be as much people as many people.
yeah. People would be activating on the later side for sure now because people are like, well, there's really no incentive for me to be at the park, before 2300 UTC.
Yeah.
Especially
But
if they're out west, like kind of game over for them with late shifts. like people in California and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Although those I don't really care about. I care most about like
And
the other side, east. So
yeah,
so it is what it is. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. It is an evolving award, and I understand they need to do these changes and to
yeah,
keep everybody happy because these changes were implemented specifically to give those outside the U.S. a chance.
yep,
Because now it's more democratic, let's say. Because now I don't have to wait until midnight to start a late shift. I can start at 8 p.m.
yeah, yep. That's absolutely true.
Because for Japan, what was time for late shift? Or Australia,
Yeah,
what
it's like
was
the
late
middle
shift
of
for
the day.
them? Yeah, noon. Noon is when UTC roll over. So, you know, it is what it is. Now they get the chance as an activator to get those late shifts for activators instead of having to wait until godly hours. So, in a way, it's good for some people, bad for others. But every rule change, I guess, does come with that, because you're used to something and this is something new. So you had it in your ways and now it's going to be different. And we'll get used to it eventually, and it's just something new and different.
Yeah, I
That's the
mean,
name of the game.
for being honest, the last award I was truly pleased with was the DX award. That was
Yes.
like
I
about time.
I got my 30 this week, 30 DX
Oh,
countries
nice.
for POTA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot
I
easier for you though.
True, 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 true.
For us in the states, it's an actual challenge. Like like I'll see those guys spotted, like in England or France or some shit,
Can't do
and
nothing about it.
I can't hear them because like the biggest issue is like those guys they're using the same like setups we are. They're
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
100 watts or less with some sort of compromised antenna generally. So we have like no chance of hearing them.
Oh, so what about me when I'm working from my side? Well, I'm in the middle of the ocean, so it's a little easier.
And you have
But
a fucking beam, okay? So I don't want to hear it. You have a beam that's like 40 feet up. All right.
okay, yeah, 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 yeah. But granted, I've never gotten Japan. I
Hmm.
cannot get Japan for the life of me. I've tried, but I can't. No POTUS from Japan yet.
Oh, Coda. Yeah.
But here's another one. The award I'm most anxious about, or the one that has been giving me the hardest work, has been the Bailey Sprocket. Okay.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
there is no award for Bailey Sprocket.
Well, I think they might actually.
I hope so. This is the first year that that I think last year was the first year where Bailey and Sprocket got it. That's why the name of the award is Bailey Sprocket, because these two guys, Bailey and Sprocket, um, worked for a year. Now there's a bunch of people. Hopefully, an award will come out of it, because unless it does, it's
Oh,
just bragging rights. Hey, I did
I hope it's a
360.
physical award, like a little plaque or something.
I don't see that happening. You think?
It should. It should because
Because it is one of the
So-
hardest awards to get.
Soda has it where like if you get 1,000 points, you get a little plaque, and that's a really hard award to get, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Like
know.
it's
I don't know if they're going to go to that cost, because it is going to be an expensive award.
you get like a little plaque this big,
Yeah,
whatever.
I'd love to get it, but that's not. I just want, give me an award to put in my page that I did the Bailey Sprocket, because it has been one of the hardest awards that I've done, and I have 253 countries, and I feel like this Bailey Sprocket is killing me on the
Oh yeah,
rocks. Bailey, and okay, Bailey, I got it. Took me a while.
yeah.
This one is literally because yes, I have 253 DXCCs countries contacted, but it was over 20-year period.
Yep.
This has gotten me to my shack every day since January 1st.
Yep. And
Every day.
imagine being James, who's activated every
Even
single
worse.
day.
I take my hat off to the men. I'll take my hat off to the guy cuz that is insane.
He
That
doesn't
is
even live,
insane.
like, he lives, like, I think he said 15, 20 minutes away from the park. So, like,
Yeah.
even on the worst weather, he still has to go out there, drive 15, 20 minutes, get to the park, and get it activated.
I live literally 2 minutes from a park
Yeah.
and I don't activate every day. I could walk 10 minutes and be in a park and I still don't do it. So, my hat's off to him for sure. Yeah. Him and every other activator.
Well, I think there's only one now. I think it's only him. No, K4NYM, I think, still in it too.
Bill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's still in it.
I got the 150
So there's two.
award for him.
There's two.
Still, that they should get a plaque that big. I mean, I'll chip in for that plaque for those two guys, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'll throw in money for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
hell
like I was
yeah.
almost disappointed that they didn't give a plaque or something to the. There was one guy who just activated all 50 states. Like it happened within the last month. I'm like, dude, they
And
should give him.
there is an award for that. Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy. There
but
you go.
it's just a printout paper. Like congratulations. Like, no, get that guy a
Yeah,
plaque.
yeah. And he
Like
doesn't
that.
even get it in the mail. He has to print it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got bragging rights for the rest of his life. I was the first to activate all 50 states. That's huge right there as well. I mean, the amount of money he invested to do that, because it's not just time; it's money.
Well, he might have had a job where he travels. I don't know, but
It's still going to cost
yeah,
him money.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Somebody got to pay for it.
Yep.
It's not something you do with, oh, I bought a radio. Let me do 50 states. No. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to do all 50 states within the next 5 years. That's my goal.
All right. So you need to get a job that travels.
Yeah. Well, like the East Coast is easy for me, and that's like what 17, 18 states right there.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really not that
Exactly.
hard after.
Yeah.
Like I just take one cross country trip and I can do most of the other states.
True. 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 Couple of zigzags. Rent a camper van and just you
In
know.
fact, like my challenge for next year too is to finally do my 12 state rove. Which, like, that's another reason I'm fucking pissed they got rid of the old radar because I was gonna do that. I was gonna be the first one to do a 12 state rove in POTA.
Well, I got 9 islands where I live. I already activated 2 of them. So yeah, and that's not going to happen ever. I already been to all 9 islands. I don't want to do that again. But it is what it is. There's no award for activating all 9 islands. So
Well, I mean, do you do IOTA at all?
no, I am a
No.
Yoda.
I know, but don't those islands count as different IOTAs or whatever?
There's ham radios on all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's divided into 3 IOTAs. So there are 3 groups of islands: east,
Uh,
central, and west. So there's 3 IOTA numbers. It used to be one for all 9 islands, but then they divided it into two, which to three, which pissed a lot of people because we were IOTA number one. We were
yeah.
reference one, and then they changed it, and my group got IOTA. What is it? 134 or one something like that. You got the 175, and the guys in San Miguel group got the one, and that pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah. I used to live on an IOTA at one point.
Cool, 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 cool.
NA 65.
Yeah, we were. If you check EU 001 or 001 Yota, that's San Miguel and group, I think.
Yeah, I used to live on
We
Whidbey
used to
Island.
be we used to be the first one. No, it's Dot Canis. Huh? Weird. I always thought it was us.
My neighbor was massive into hunting iota.
Yeah,
Like I
we
think
have.
he hunted like all of them. Like even like the rare like Antarctica ones and shit. Like
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure he hunted all of that.
we have a person here who's really into Yotas, and he's got like most of them. He's also the XCC like honor roll. He's got like 300 and something countries. So
It's
he's
like
like
all of
he's
them.
missing one to finish the entire world. So
Which one's he missing?
some expedition he's waiting on that I think it's supposedly coming up. It's not Bouvet Island because he has
That's
Bouvet
about to
Island, I
say.
think. It's one of those like weird ass islands in no middle of nowhere.
Dude, I would love to do like a D expedition POTA. Like go
Well,
to like Midway Island or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been to Berlenga Island, but that's there's people there. It's not really a DX. It's just an island off the coast of mainland Portugal. But it was fun. It was like two teams, one Morse code and one digital and SSB. So it was pretty big. We had like four antennas set up, and it was pretty interesting. And I've been to another island called Goat Island, or you Americans call it Split Rock. We call it Goat Island.
Mm.
And I've been to that one, CU 30 Charlie, which is a park. And I've asked for the logs to put it into POTA. They lost the logs because this was like 1980s, 90s. So 90s. So it was all paper logs, and the dog ate the paper logs.
I guess you're gonna have to go back.
It's
Boo
not an
hoo.
easy one.
Um,
Hey Ed, what's up? I like sofa in
so
the air.
bad.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And I like bed in the air.
Beds on the air. Boda.
Boda, Boda. Uh, Other than that, what you got coming up? We're like 15 minutes away, but you got anything interesting coming
Yeah.
up?
Red
Because
cement.
let's not rag on POTA anymore.
Yeah. No, well speaking of Poda, I did do that 10 Park Rove, and that video's gonna be coming up soon. Um I'm also doing like a little challenge of people.
Are you
We'll
gonna
see if it
do? You're
takes
gonna do
off.
a James?
Kind of, but it has to do with people's tickets for US ups.
Okay.
So my little challenge to people is to upgrade their ticket or even just get their ticket, right?
Okay.
So you'll get like entries into like a drawing based on how many levels you go up.
Okay.
So if so, there's three levels. Technician, general, extra. So if you go from 0 to technician, it'll give you 2 entries automatically, just because you got a license. It's like, hey, good job on just getting a license. If you go to
I think
general,
that should be more. It should be more because
well,
if you're a newbie, you need it more than everybody else. If you're like new to the program.
they'll get like 2 entries, right? But then if they get up to general, they'll get 3 entries, and if they get all the way to extra, they'll get 5 entries.
So they get
And they
20 if they make it all the way up.
no, they just get 5 entries total in
Oh,
the
okay.
drawing.
Okay.
Because like
Okay.
otherwise, like people like me, if I went from general to extra, I only get 1 entry because I think
Okay.
that makes it fair for new people. Um,
I thought you were doing like two if you go for your AM radio license, three if you go
yeah,
one above, and then five if you go. So that would mean you would get 10. But if you just went one up, like from the middle to the top, you get five.
yep.
Because it's also has to be dependent on
Well, it's
how
within a
hard
month.
is it.
It's within a month too,
Yeah,
so
but
you
I mean,
have
I
a
mean,
whole month.
it would be interesting this way, that it would make you want to progress. Like 2 points, 3 points, 5 points. So if you're already a ham and you're midway to get your extra, you'd get 5 points because it's harder to get as well. And if you're going all the way, you
Uh,
get 10 points.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
could
makes
do it
sense.
that way too. Yeah, they could do it that way too. Oh, it's not totally fleshed out, but basically, people need to get out there and upgrade their ticket. Like, if you have your tech, get up to your extra by November 15th, and I'll give away a radio of some kind, something like in the $100 range, probably like a TYT or something. You know.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yep, yep.
Interesting.
Because
Interesting.
I plan on going to extra within the next month. So.
Nice. Congrats. I will not be upgrading ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
I know.
Ever. Because I don't want to lose my call sign. Sorry, but that's the Portuguese law screwed me over. Because you lose your call sign for something completely different. Like I would go from CU3 to Charlie Tango 8, and I definitely don't want to be Charlie Tango 8. I'm fine being CU3. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't sound like you have much restrictions anyway, so.
Well, yeah, I go from 750 to 1500 watts, and I get 70 megahertz. That's it.
Yeah,
But the
I
way I
mean,
see it, who's going to come and measure my power?
I was about to say, like, yeah, you're not running 1500 watts. You're probably not running more than that.
I
Who
did buy a
knows?
1500 amp.
Yeah.
I did order a 1500 watt amp, but it's like, yeah, my car
Oh,
does.
God.
My car, if you got a Lamborghini, it does what is it like 150 miles an hour?
Look who came to ruin the stream.
What's up, everybody?
Huzzah! At the end, at the end, where you
Hey,
at?
you
You
saved
little
you saved the best for last, right?
no, no. This isn't. This isn't. Jesus's wedding. This is. The best is not for last. The best has been happening slowly
No,
but surely.
it's PH. Poda in the or the Poda King in the house.
Oh, I even spilled myself with that one. Ooh. So what's up? What have you been doing?
I had to go to my grandson's ball game. Very important ball game.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
so he has a legitimate excuse of not being
He
there.
does. He
Okay.
does. He does. He does. He does.
We're
We'll give
getting
him
close,
that.
we're getting close to playoff times, and it went
Hmm.
into sudden death because we were tied at the end.
Huh.
Oh. Did he win?
Yeah, we won.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you.
Tell him the guy he doesn't know from Portugal said congrats. So, how's your support at the parks weekend going?
Oh, dude, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bands were garbage, and like
Yeah.
they were overcrowded, and
Yeah.
They were. They were.
every
Especially
time
with
Kyoto
the jamboree
parties.
in the air as well.
every time you would find a frequency, like somebody would move point 0.5 down from
But
you.
I'm not mad about Joda. Joda gets kids on the air, gets
Oh
them
yeah,
interested in ham
no,
radio,
I
I'm
but
mean,
the
not saying that.
QSO parties. Ugh! I can't
Yeah.
stand these goddamn QSO parties every weekend. Like, it's just, oh, it's so bad. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? I don't get it.
Unless they're doing POTA.
I don't care. Get off. QSO party, get off. Give me back the bands. Oh, look at that.
Look at puppy.
James got a Taco Bell dog.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Taco Bell.
Taco
so
Bell.
I have the name of a whiskey Alpha 7 club that I'm going to try to join.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Anyway, so even I did an activation.
Even you did an activation.
There you go.
Well,
Did a twofer.
like I shouldn't have went to the game because I've got a sinus infection, and I said I'm only going to go out and do one park today. I did like 9 yesterday, and I said I was going to do one today, and then I went out anyway, and did one, and then went out in the rain and sat for the game. But
He hasn't heard about the changes to the late shift.
I was listening on the way up the road, kind of. No, I haven't heard yet. You guys were just. I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, we'll send you
Yeah.
the link.
So it's the official rule is based off of like your degrees longitude from 0 to UTC plus or minus 1 hour. It's confusing as shit. So I went on the POTA webpage and said, "This is confusing. Can you please clarify this?" And Jason Johnson said, basically it's 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. is your late shift, and your early shift is 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. on your local time. So
Is it?
that means if we're working here on the East Coast, right, East Coast time, if it's 8 p.m. for us, that means people in the Central Time Zone is not late shift for them yet.
No,
Okay.
it's early shift. Early shift is 2 a.m. to 8 a.m.
So, so,
Yeah.
so, so, by what you're saying is, all right, I'm out at a park at 7:45,
Mm-hmm.
and I do my early shift, and at 8 o'clock, it's still late shift for me.
Yes.
But the people who hunted me at 7:45 that are in Central Time cannot hunt me.
They can, but it's early shift or late shift for them. It's going to be different.
Well, he's saying people in Central Time, so for them it
Oh,
would not be late
no,
shift yet.
It would be
no.
a dupe.
They would have to wait another, but they wouldn't be duped because it's another UTC day. UTC day is still the same. The
Yeah.
UTC day shifting is the same. So if you
Okay,
start at
okay.
7:45,
The only thing it affects is whether it's a late shift or not.
yeah,
exactly.
the hunters, and now late shifts are based on QSOs, not activations. So like your award number will be by QSOs now.
Oh, wait, whoa, whoa.
Your
So,
late award would be on QSOs.
It'd be
it just hit me.
It'd be based on QSO. So that means if you work 100 people during late shift, you have 100 people worked QSO wise, and that's the award. It's by 100.
Oh, so I have 650 parks on late shift. Those are going to amount to like a lot of QSOs. No, it's still going to be 650 QSOs as 100. But if he
Well, it
does
might
a
be a little
park
bit
with
more.
1,000, he gets a 1,000 late shift.
Yep.
So yeah, the numbers for the activators are going to go up like crazy. You're going to have like a 2,000 award. Like you can do it for okay. That's different. That is
I really
different.
am going to hate to see mine then, because like the majority of my activations are late shifts.
Yeah, but they're like, what's your average QSOs in an activation?
Like 200.
A lot, a lot.
So okay, 200. And how many late shifts do you have?
Probably 500.
So 500 times 200, that's the number you're going to get for your late award.
Well, it wasn't always 200, but it is now. So.
Average per se. So you could be looking at what is it, 500, 200, like 10,000 QSO late shift award. I'll get a 650 hunter. The hunter numbers are always going to be lower because it only takes me one QSO to do a park.
I don't care as long as I can still do.
No, but the numbers are going to be ludicrous for the activators.
As long as the hunters can still hunt me at 7:45 and then hunt me again at 8 o'clock, that's all that matters to me.
And just to clarify, so yes, it does matter where you are as the activator for late shift, but also it matters where you are if you are hunting as well. So if you're hunting, let's say I'm on the East Coast and it's 8 o'clock here and it's 7 o'clock on the Central Time and you're in the Central Time, you are not on late shift yet. I am.
Yeah, I get my hunter award. You don't.
But they can still hunt you because it's a new.
They can still hunt you.
Yes, because it's a new UTC. Yes,
UTC rollover is still applicable.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay.
Which is going to be very important for me because I'm always looking for the UTC rollover to do QSOs because it's always when people come in
Well, like I'm a masochist, so I like to torture myself. I like to set up
yes, yes, you are. Yes,
at
you
like
are.
3 minutes to the late shift and see if I can get 40 calls.
Mhm.
But right now, your late shift, you could start at 8. Well, yeah, because 8. Yeah, but you don't have to wait for 2400 UTC. It's 8 p.m. local time. It's your late
Yeah.
shift. So you already
Yeah, whatever
you
your 8 p.m. local time is. So that means for
that's when your
Mike,
late
it's
shift
going to
starts.
be 8 p.m., but the UTC is going to be, well, your UTC, so it's going to be 2000 UTC. For me, my 8 p.m. is 2400 UTC. If you're in the
Yep.
central time zone, it's going to be 01 UTC, and so
So
on and
I'm
so
going to
forth.
benefit from it because at 8 p.m. for me, which is already UTC, instead of waiting until midnight to get a late shift, at 8 o'clock, it's
Yep.
already get late shifts from all those QSOs. So yeah, my numbers will go up. You're right.
So
Yeah.
the only thing that matters to me is that I can still do two activations in like a 15-minute span there.
Yes. Yes. There will be both late shifts,
No, they'll be both. One will be early for me because it's not 8 o'clock.
but early shift is until from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m.
2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Who's
That's a
out?
new award. That the new, there's changes to the old late shift
Oh,
award,
yeah.
and there's a new award called
The
early
early
shift.
shift. Yep.
The new early shift is from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Your time,
When does that start? Tonight?
local time. Well,
I
it
guess.
starts at 2 a.m. local time for you
Yeah.
I mean, when does the award start?
Today, I guess.
today, I guess, and it'll be
Yeah.
retroactive.
But it's by
And
hundreds of QSOs,
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
You have to get at least 100 QSOs for the first award. I don't
yeah.
know if they're retroactively giving us the award or not, but yeah.
I think they said they would. Let me check what he
I
said.
haven't gotten anything yet, but yeah, it
No,
might take
it's gonna
a
take a
couple days.
week.
Hmm.
QSOs made in the past will count towards this award. So over the next several weeks, those of you already qualify will begin to see the awards trickle in. If already earned, the awards will first be granted at the 100 level and will catch up over time to your current QSO counts. The triggering of the award process is based on your call sign appearing in logs and submitting your own logs. So the more active you are, the faster your new certificates will catch up. So fire up your radio, make some contacts, and have fun. Afterwards, check your awards list for Late Shift Activator version 2, V2, Late Shift Activator V2, and Late Shift Hunter V2, Early Shift Activator, and Early Shift Hunter. So the new award will be called Late Shift Activator V2 and Late Shift Hunter V2. So we'll have the old ones and the V2 version 2.
So, and just a suggestion to people who's looking for these, you'll want to go back into your logs and because it'll go by the first date that you got this. So if you've already got it, it's going to be back in your awards, not on top.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
yeah.
just like with those Rover awards, I didn't think I had any, but they were back in my logs.
Yeah.
I looked. I haven't gotten my. I only have one Rover award, and I still haven't got. Well, I only have one Radar award. I still haven't gotten a new one, the
All
new
right.
Rover
Well,
one.
Charlie's about to be on. So, James, what do you have going on this week?
This week is probably going to be a lot of FT8 activations because I'm working really hard on a presentation that I'm doing for the Long Island CW Club on portable operations. So
Hmm.
I'm going to be using a lot of my activating time doing FT8 and working on that at the same time. I'll still be doing, at least one or two parks a day sideband, but I'll be spending a lot more time on FT8.
Yeah.
Uh, that way I can get some stuff done too. And I got a couple of videos that I need to drop, but it just depends on that. I'm also working really hard on my CW right now, so
Yeah.
lots of stuff
Nice.
coming up for me.
What about you, Mike? Anything interesting?
Um, I already got my DX10, so Jameson didn't know, but I already got my DX10 set up and working.
Right next to his 101.
Nah, right next to my. So it's like it's a great radio, but it's like a Porsche compared to my Lamborghini. But anyway, not to rub it in anyway.
Well,
No, I just
I'll take your Porsche anytime you're tired of it.
come over. I'll lend it to you. It's yours if you come over for the duration of your stay here. Um, no, I just waiting, making time for the contest CQ SSB at the end of the month. But other than that, just might do some more activations FT8 QRP. Waiting on a mag loop that should change the way I work activations, making it easier. So as soon as that comes in, there'll be a boom in activations, but always FT8 QRP because it's easier to. I don't have a battery for the DX10, so it will have to be FT8 QRP.
Just
Cool.
really quick question. Am I lagging at all here,
No.
streaming from here?
No, you're
You're
good.
good. Yeah. And like I said, I did a 10 park rove earlier this week, so I'm gonna put that. I recorded it. We'll see how that video came out. I haven't even looked. So we'll see on Tuesday how that came out. And other than that, really not much going on. So I'll say 7 threes, and the video should take you straight to Charlie's stream if you guys are watching in the chat. So 7 threes, everyone in the chat, and we'll see you next week.
Later,
See you
guys.
guys next week. Later.